Hey, you guys remember last time I said I had more to show you about e-bike fires? Well, I guess you didn't have to wait long because here today are 7 ideas to address the risk of electric bike battery fires. You can try and find the right combination of methods that fits your needs, and by all means, do them all if possible. So I'm sure that you were expecting this next part, but here it is. It is my disclaimer, but we've got some dancing to go along with it. This video is designed as a starting point for ideas that viewers can explore and implement on their own accord. It's not conclusive, instructional, and does not replace or discourage proper care, planning, and preparation with a professional. You and only you are in charge of the safety for yourself, your home, your bike. And to make it completely clear, you should not be claiming you received life-saving training from a dancing YouTube guy. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and get to the list of ideas, starting with number 1. Buy a quality electric bike in the first place, usually from a local store. So there is a lot to be said about buying a quality bike, and quality parts follow suit. Local stores are often quite diligent on sourcing electric bikes for their shop because they have to deal with the customers face to face. And in bad times, lawyer to lawyer. I know it might sound kind of rough, but this accountability is a huge asset, as established long-standing bike shops have to maintain a reputation. They're going to go through all sorts of hoops to keep that going, including stockpiling on electric bikes that put safety as a priority. Okay, next on the list is buy a certified electric bike if you have to buy online. So not long ago, electric bikes started getting certified, and one such example in the States is UL 2271. There's also UL 2849 and even UL 2272, but that one's far more rare. So these standards that you can find on an electric bike website, they are for safety, including mitigating efforts inside the battery pack to address the risk of fire. However, these certifications are not mandatory, so any bike company, large and small, can get by without these certifications and sell on many different websites. At the moment, online sellers still do this very, very often, so please make sure you check. And how do you check? Well, it's pretty easy. You just go to the electric bike website and start scanning around until you find it. Most companies are going to be putting this in an easy-to-find place because it puts them ahead of the competition, and to be frank, they paid a bunch of money for it, so they want to put that out there. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is very important. Please use the correct charger for your electric bike battery. It's wildly important. Again, please use the right charger. Every electric bike comes with a charger that has been selected to match the battery pack voltage, the plug type, and also the speed of the charge. Most of the time, electric bike companies source a charger that goes at 2 amps. Now that does take roughly 4 hours to recharge a typical battery from 0 to 100%, but the bike companies do this because they know that it's safer. Again, buy from someone that you trust, like a local store for example, not someone who will tell you the things that you want to hear and then just leave you high and dry. Buying a third-party out-of-spec charger can be especially risky, especially when the charge is really fast, because this is going to increase the risk of a battery fire. If your electric bike has 2 batteries, it's actually safer to charge them using 2 chargers instead of trying to get one fast charger and then taking turns. And come to think of it, it's faster to charge up batteries with 2 chargers anyway, because at the last end of state of charge, the charger slows down its rate anyway. So yeah, it's just better to have 2 chargers and reduce the risk. So the rest of the list is going to be covering how to control a battery fire if they occur, which is vitally important. The next one on the list is to avoid charging an electric bike battery at night. Because as it turns out, there is a common trend that battery fires happen when the battery is charging. It's not just for bikes, it's also for cars or phones or weed eaters or whatever. In light of this information, charging batteries while you are present and capable of addressing the problem right away, this is precious time that cannot be recovered if you are asleep or on the other side of the house. Now, following this step could be the difference between disaster cleanup for a single room versus fighting the insurance company over your burned down house and the legacy that it will take with it. Myself, I'm only charging my batteries when I'm in the room, and I have no exceptions to this. I never charge batteries overnight, and if possible, I would encourage you to do the same. Next on the list is to put the battery into a metal box during charging. So this is one of the easiest and the cheapest ways to control a battery fire, if you're curious. All you gotta do is just put your battery inside of a metal box, and that's the long and short of it. It's not gonna hurt if you put a battery in here for long-term storage, like over the winter, for example, but so long as the metal box can fit the battery that you have and also close shut with some kind of fastener, that's pretty much it. You can get a cheap safe, like I've got here, or you can get a metal toolbox from the thrift store. If you want to go the extra mile, you can drill a hole in the side to allow for the charger port to go through, and then voila! You now have a method of preventing the spread of a battery fire. If you're willing to spend a few extra bucks, you can get something more tailored for electric bikes, such as... So check this out, you can put the battery into a fireproof bag during charging. Yeah, it turns out that these exist as of recently. This is a battery safeguard bag from the company Battery Safeguard. It's aimed at reducing the damage and risk with electric bike battery fires. So it's not a generic bag from the hardware store. It's actually specifically designed for electric bikes by experts in the industry. The long shape fits most electric bike batteries, there are a couple of exceptions, and it already has a charge port, a quick access opening, and it has straps for easy carry on the back of a bike rack. The exterior is made of a reflective gray color, which the company says keeps the battery 11 degrees cooler in the sunlight compared to a black color alternative. There is a link to Battery Safeguard in the description below. They did send this unit out to me to help make a better video, but other than that, there is no sponsorship. So I'm totally willing to burn this up and see what it comes to. If you guys want to see a video where I test this out and perhaps some other methods, leave a comment or a reply below. And if I count them up and there's enough interest, I'll totally set this thing on fire, see what it comes to. Okay, next on the list is to get trained for immediate fire response. Now I have to put a grave caveat before this because fire departments know that trying to take a do-it-yourself approach to fire suppression, I'm sure it hurts more people than it saves. Now when an emergency fire breaks out, the emergency responders have to be called. There's no way around that. Okay, so now that that's understood, I'll mention that you can take a course from an independent company that will offer local training on fire suppression or fire extinguishers. There are a number of reasons and directions that fire training can go, and so I would advise talking with a local professional, perhaps one at your job, and see if you can get some experience that will help you in electric bikes. Of these training courses, it's very likely that they're going to cover having necessary tools on hand, such as a fire blanket and proper training on fire extinguishers of which to use and how to use them. If you combine that with the other items in this video, especially proper containment and having your immediate presence, then I'm sure you're well on your way towards having the most peaceful night's sleep in your whole neighborhood. So this guy certainly lost some sleep. He's the police chief whose storage depot burned down from an e-bike battery fire. Be sure to check out that story here, and remember to leave a comment if you want to see me burn up this bag and do some extra testing. Thanks again to Battery Safeguard for sending it out. I am Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and I will see you on the later.